Good morning. Thank you so much for clicking on that video. My name is Samantha and welcome to Crown of Light Ministries. So today I want to share with you, how should I put it? It's a combination of dream, vision, and just stuff that has been placed in my spirit, really. This morning I woke up with this song. I've noticed lately I have been waking up with songs. Like the most I play songs in my spirit, right? And let me give you a little backstory about that before I go into the reason behind this video. So a couple months ago I had this dream, and in this dream I was taken into a church that I used to attend in my teenage years up until I was around 16 or so. And I proceeded to enter into the church, and I walked towards the front of the pulpit. And towards the front of the pulpit, there was a box with some black and white books in the box. Those writing textbooks. So I took one of the books out and I opened it up, and I noticed that there was a whole list of songs in there. So I just grabbed the book, went back to, I went to sit in the middle pew. And I wasn't alone. I was on the left side of the pew, actually. And, then people started flocking the church, right? And they were all sitting on the left-hand side of the pew. And the right-hand side of the pew, it was empty. The seats were empty. No one was sitting there. And then all of a sudden, these two angels ascended through the ceiling, and they transformed themselves into birds, bluebirds at that. And they basically sat on the backrest. They basically sat on the backrest of the pew on the right side. So they were the only ones on the right. And these two angels that transformed themselves into bluebirds, they turned to me and they started talking. They started talking. And I started responding back, right? And so then, like, everyone that was in the church that was in front of me and behind of me, seated in those pews, all their mouth dropped open. They're like, how can you communicate? How can you communicate with these birds? And how do they know to communicate with you? And how can you understand each other? And I said, and I think I said something along the lines, it's just one of the gifts that God gave me. I can communicate with, birds who send messages from above. Something along the lines. But they were just so in awe by the fact that the communication, because they couldn't understand. They could not understand a thing these birds were saying. But I was the only one that could understand. So it was like I was having a dialogue with these birds. And, in real life, I do have this connection with birds. And, they would come and they would chirp. And I was like, when I used to drive, they would come and they would just flock around my car, and, they would be, hitting their beak on my window, or they would come to the windows of my bedroom and they would just stay there. And even most lately was this one morning, as I was like clearing the living room space, this bird landed on the windowsill, and I called my son. I was like, oh, Malachi, come and see, there's a bird here. And so the bird just stood there for about 2 to 5 minutes, and then the bird flew away. So that same morning, as we were walking to school, the same bird appeared. So the bird was walking with us towards the school. And then he flew away. So now on my way back, and, on my way back home, came back into the flat and whatnot, the bird came back. So I'm like, oh, what is going on? What are you trying to tell me? What is the message? But anyway, since I had that dream of those bluebirds, those angels that would transform into bluebirds, and they were communicating with me in a language that the people couldn't understand, only I understood what they were saying. Since then, the most I have been placing music songs of praise in my spirit. So now this morning, I had this dream. Not really a dream, but I do dream every day. Not a dream. It was no dream. But as soon as I woke up, I heard the song, Wade in the Water, Children. I don't know if you've, I think it's one of those Negro spirituals that have been in, movies about slavery and Harriet Tubman and all that kind of stuff, right? And it goes something like this. I'm not a singer by any chance, so, and I'm a bit blocked up, but it goes like this. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. So that was the song that was downloaded in my spirit. I was like, I haven't heard that song in years. So now the day before that, as I was reading, after I finished read the scriptures, I went to pray, and this was just before midday. And as soon as I come out of the prayer, I heard the Holy Spirit said mountain. Now the day before that, I had a dream. And in this dream, it was a back-to-back dream. And the back-to-back dream was about zombie apocalypse. So and it's not my first dream about, zombies, right? And I suppose this is another confirmation that the zombie apocalypse will happen. And I've seen people being, gnawed at and what's that. And so I'm not going to go into any details about that, because I'm sure there are other people who have dreams and encounters and stuff that the Most High have shared with them about, the coming zombie apocalypse and what's not. So, if alternatively, you can just look at one of my videos, which I've shared. By the way, as soon as I was coming out of the dream, the Most High gave me a place in Africa. And I'm not sure if this place is a place for safety for all of Israel, if it's just a place that he is personally directing me to. But I'm not going to disclose this place for the sake of, we have enemies out there that are watching and listening to our stuff. And secondly, I'm not sure if it's this place in Africa is where the regathering will happen, or if it's just a place for me and my family. But so he gave me he gave me the name of a country in Africa, and which he said would be considered the safest place on earth. So I'm not sure if he's saying that it would be the safest place on earth during the time of the zombie apocalypse, during the time of the tribulation. I'm not sure. But he gave me the place, the name of the place, and it's, and it's surrounded by a river. What I can tell you, it is not one of those countries, one of those popular countries where people have gone back to Africa for the year of return. It's not the Ghana and Tanzania or anything of that sort. So I will not share the name of the place for that reason. And secondly, I've had a dream where I have seen Marcus Rogers and his family in Africa as well. So I'm not sure if they will be going to Africa to relocate or escape. He's been led to the Most High to get out. But I did see him, his wife, and his baby. But yeah, so have anyone had any dreams or divine revelations concerning to a move to Africa, or shown a place of safety in Africa for God's people to go and dwell in until that appointed time? Please let me know, comment, like, and share. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, shalom.